People, how are you all doing? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. It is Sandra here, and I'm back again with another video from Maher. And this says Maher takes down MSNBC host in electrifying live debates. Okay, Maher didn't take him down this time, because most times when I get into him on his show, it's more like his audience just want to take over the show. Okay, so this time he's doing the takedown, and I do like when Maher is doing takedown, because I'm going to be very honest, there's certain things that he says I actually understand and I resonate to. So yeah. But anyways, we're going to be getting into this today, so put up your buckles, people, and let's just hop right into the video.
We would not have been the Democratic nominee, but we'll never know that. But I will tell you that, there's never been anybody who's had the difficulty of that situation, elevated that late in the campaign. Why?
What? To run away from
Bill, I don't know if you know this, but the Vice President of the United States is basically shoved in a broom closet for 3.5 years.
I know.
You couldn't.
She was more popular in there.
Yes, well.
I mean, this idea that the idea in a mass media age that 107 days is not long enough to know somebody.
You are way overestimating the American people in terms of what they.
No.
You have someone like Donald Trump has become a universally known, understood, loved by some, hated by others over the course of being omnipresent for 8 years.
Okay.
Barack Obama becomes president of the United States after running for 2 years as president, runs a 50-state primary, is on television, does dozens of Democratic debates, and by the time at the end of that, most people knew who he was. Most people. Yeah. You drop somebody into the middle of the top of the ticket, 3 days out, 3 months out. You are going to have to spend a lot of time trying to introduce yourself to the country while also being in a steel cage death match with Donald Trump.
But I don't know if you ever watched this show, but I had Michael Douglas on this week.
Yeah.
At the top, we were talking about this, and he made a very good point that every other country in the world can do it in months, sometimes weeks. Why can every other country do it in that short a period of time? Are they all so much brighter than America? I don't think so.
Well,
mostly parliamentary. I mean, there's literal reasons, right? We don't have a parliamentary system.
I mean,
we also have a First Amendment. We don't make people campaign this whole time. The American people want to give them $20, and so they can afford it. I mean, small dollar donors are arguably the worst thing that's happened to our politics, as it turned out.
It's a small dollar donor didn't make $20 billion. No.
A lot of it.
Some of it, yeah.
And they represent about 2% of our country.
There's a few special PACs in there that saw $100 million plus.
Those are bad too.
I think you can believe that you could have shorter elections in America, but it's not like we don't know. In Britain, for instance, when you have a short election, it's not like you don't know who the leader of the party is for months and years before that.
But you're either the person who's Googling the day before, did Biden drop out, or in a week. Did anyone in this audience not know enough about Kamala Harris pretty much after a week to make a decision? No. Yeah, people.
How are you
ridiculous. We just get sicker of them.
What? So
how are you going to tell people they can't talk about politics?
What?
How with free speech that I know you love?
Yeah.
How are you going to limit people's ability to run for office?
I'm not limiting. We're not making a law. Everything the candidates, especially the Democrats, do to get voters annoys them. The constant texting. Did you get the texts from Tim Walz every 5 minutes, and always begging for money and knocking on doors? We've got people knocking on doors. People don't want knocking on your door. Who in this day and age wants someone knocking on? Kids don't even like it when a phone call. That's too much of a invasion of their privacy, which they don't care about. Who might emerge as the strongest Democratic opposition leader in the next Trump era? Oh, well, that's a good question. I mean, like Adam Schiff, he won, right? Big.
He won, but I like Wes Moore.
Wes Moore's fantastic. He's in Maryland.
Yep.
But who's going to be the one? Gavin Newsom, we have here in this state. He's already called the legislature to. Trump hasn't done anything yet, but I understand the
this was the problem. You know, there was a 2014 study that showed that Fortune 500 companies were more likely to pick a female CEO if the company was struggling, basically setting women up for the big job, but to also fail. If they did well, fine. But if they failed, like, look, we have a female CEO while failing. And that's what I feel like they did to Kamala Harris. When Biden refused to step aside and not run again, he was supposed to be that bridge. He backed off on that promise due to arrogance. And then he drops out after a catastrophic debate performance, and they set Kamala Harris up to fail. That was a 3-month campaign, and she was supposed to introduce herself to the American people. No wonder people were Googling, did Joe Biden drop out? And so...
No. No. You're saying 3 months wasn't long enough?
I mean,
it was too long.
I mean, it was long enough.
It was long enough.
If they had a primary...
It's not that they didn't have time to introduce. They met someone and they didn't like them.
If they had a primary, they wouldn't have picked her. And if they had,
That's
she would have been
different.
able to
Yes.
rough out those edges that then she basically has to start from scratch with a campaign team she didn't hire that didn't like her, right? It was his team.
Kudos to Maher. Yeah, a huge kudos to him. As I said, there are times I've gotten into certain videos of Maher that I'm just like, I don't understand where he's coming from. I don't like, how he's presenting himself. And then the videos I get into from him, I'm like, yes, you're speaking my mind, go, I'm just cheering him on. And I think like this is one of those videos where he just, genuinely made me proud. And in that same light, I feel like I really admire PRs, like the ability to try to find excuse for lacking. I feel like it's a talent. It's a study you have to go through. Like, there is like a glaring lacking in an individual, and you just somehow have an excuse, have an explanation for why that person is lacking or why that's happening. I'm just like, that is pretty impressive, because you're saying that they needed more time to get to know her. Like, how much more time? If 4 years, or I think like 3.5 years, I don't know how long exactly, wasn't enough, then it's gonna be like till eternity. It's gonna be like a monarch situation, because like, what are you talking about? If 4 years wasn't enough for someone to show themselves, like if 4 years wasn't enough for someone to show themselves, then they really do not have anything to show, because yourself, like who you are, really just radiates through you. Like, what do you have to do, what you have to like give back, it really just, it shows itself. You don't even need something grand in order for people to get to know you in that sense. So what are you talking about? The excuses actually just blew me away. But I'm just going to say that I did appreciate that the fact that Maher was like, it was like he was on my side for me, because I feel like if he didn't give it to them the way I wanted it to be given to them, I would have felt very unsettled. So Bill just really mentioning like the things that I would like to have mentioned if I was, there. Don't know why I would be there, but yeah, I'm just like, okay, I feel a bit settled. But to be honest, I'm just really marveled at how, the talent people have for giving excuses for lack. I'm just like, no, that's weak. That's just really, really, really weak. But nonetheless, yes, as always, we did get into this. Please do share your opinion, your thought with me down in the comment box. I'm really going to appreciate it. Let us keep on staying safe and healthy. If you did enjoy this video, please, this is the time to give it a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more amazing content as such. And with that being said, people, hopefully we get to see you in the next one. So, bye.